What's up guys, Merry Christmas and thank you for tuning in to my special Christmas Day edition of Life of a Jobbing Plumber. So just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone who watches my videos, who subscribes to my channel. It means a lot to me. If you don't subscribe, please consider hitting the subscribe button. There's also a little bell where you can get a notification when I make a new video, or just banging a like or a comment on. It really helps me and it motivates me to make more videos. I started doing YouTube February this year. After the first lockdown, I fell out of love with the job. I was struggling to get out of bed in the morning to motivate to go to work. I would sit outside jobs and just mess on my phone or just daydream rather than being up for it and going in. And starting the YouTube again has really helped me mental health wise to get back in the zone, back enjoying my job. And I'm always thinking, will this job make a good YouTube video? So it's kind of keeping me motivated, making me want to work harder. So thank you to everyone for that. This video is a Christmas video. I'm going to try and make a Christmas tree out of copper. Now, I've been thinking about this for probably about 4 weeks now, and I want to make one that's not been done before. There's loads of Christmas trees made out of copper out there, but I wanted to do something different. Ideally, I wanted to use my pipe bender so I could show you some pipe bending tips and tricks, but no matter what I thought about, I couldn't quite make a design that I liked where it involved using a bender, so I'm going to be soldering it. But this video will just be basically start to finish of me making the Christmas tree, and I hope you like obviously the process of it and the finished product. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. Sponsored by Lawton Tubes, as I am the Copper Champion Ambassador for Lawton Tubes, promoting the use of copper pipe in the plumbing and heating industry. Check out their Instagram page. Keep an eye out in the new year. We're going to be running some awesome competitions where you can get a tour around the Lawton factory with me and the guys from Lawton. And also we're going to be speaking in colleges. So if you're at a college and you want me to come and talk to the students or come and talk to you at your college, get in touch and we'll make that happen next year. Cheers guys, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, so my idea was, originally I was going to make the trunk out of 22mm and branch off in 15 for each section. But what I also want to do is maybe hide the trunk so you can't see it. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do it with 15mm tees and keep the whole thing 15, but as I get into the design I'll make my mind up. So what the first most important thing is what the closest square I can make using a T and 4 elbows, because this is going to be the final sort of level of the tree. So I've got to work out how close I can get that, and then once I've measured that one, let's say that is 70mm into each elbow. So that's going to be the top part of the tree. Every branch level down from that wants to be 15mm bigger. And what I mean by that is, so the next one, I'll put these on the outside of it. And measure the length between those, and then just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it will all make sense when I start putting it together, hopefully. And then the idea will be like a stem or the trunk running through the middle, depending on whether I use 15 or 22. And believe it or not, that and cutting the copper is the easy bit. The hard bit is going to be soldering it and then putting it together and soldering it without it all dropping. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Right, so I've just offered this together. I've not cut this one in yet, but these are 65mm. I've gone slightly smaller. But my idea is that the trunk in the middle will be in the centre like that. And I don't think we need 22, because the design of the shape, it's going to hold its own weight quite easily. So I think we'll just do the whole thing in 15mm. So that's my first tier, the top tier of the tree. And all I need to do now to make it easier for myself at the end is I'm going to clean this all up with steel wool before I solder it, just to make it a little bit easier at the end, because I'm going to have a lot of cleaning up to do. So that's fluxed and cleaned up, wiped all the excess flux off, so that's ready to solder. But the other thing I need to think of is, do I do this bit now or do I do that afterwards? The only thing is, if I do it afterwards, once I've got more layers on, getting my flaming and my soldering to get to it. So I need to make that decision, whether I make the trunk first or just do it all one by one. Just before I do this one, this is the second one. I'm just making it exactly one size bigger. What I am going to do with the T is I'm going to move it around. So the first T will be into that way, the second T will come from that way, the third there, so we'll go round. Whether that will add to the overall final look of the design or the stability of it, I don't know, but I think rather than having them all on one side, it will look better if they twist round. And the reason I needed to make these two at the same time before I solder the first one is I want to know the height difference, because obviously I've got to get a piece of copper in between this T and this T so it looks uniform. They're not too close together, not too far apart. So what I'm doing now is cutting lots of little 30mm sections of 15mm, because they're going to be what separates the distance between each layer. Right, I'm going for it. So I've set that up what I think is square, plumb, whatever. I'm going to solder this one first. I'm only doing one stem out of the T because I think when I put it together, I'll solder that one onto that one, then that one, then that one, because it's going to be the top of the T of the next layer, if you get what I'm saying. You'll see when I start doing it. So while that one's cooling down, I'm going to clean this one up with the steel wool. Okay, so that's the first one cleaned up, that's ready to go. I'm going to do the same with that one, clean that one up, and then I'm going to make the rest of the sizes. So we're just going to go up one pipe size. I'm probably going to do about 8, maybe 10, and then we'll start joining them together. So that's my third layer done, just soldered that, that's red hot. So while that's cooling, I am making the next layer, and there's my first and my second one that are done and polished up. So I'll keep making the layers, and then we'll be ready for the next stage, which will be joining them all together, and hopefully that's where it all comes together. Right, so it's 3, 4, 5, 7 now, 7 layers, and these are all identical, they just get bigger. The next one I need to do is going to be the base. So rather than have the T in the middle, I think it's going to be an elbow, and I'm going to make that one now, and then we can start assembling it all. Right, it's getting cold now and a bit dark, but that's the base. So instead of a T there, because we're not got to join on anything lower, we've just got an elbow looking up, and then these will start, I know this is the small one, but these will start joining on. So once I've soldered this base up, then we'll add the next layer, solder, next layer, and we'll just go up. Right, so there is our foundation. That is our base piece all soldered up with the upstand in the middle. So now I'm going to start adding layers on. We're going to start with the second biggest. Okay, so the problem I'm going to have is it's on, but it needs to be like that when I solder it. So I need to prop it up that end. I need to measure, or maybe weight this end down so I can solder this T. See, it's just needs soldering on that bit there. Right, I've moved it on the floor a bit because the floor's not quite level. So you see I've got the first one's that way, that one's going to be that way, then the next one's going to be that way. The way I've done it now, that's pretty solid at that, so all I need to do is make sure it's looking about right, and then we'll get the soldering. So I reckon about there. Okay, now I've got to let that cool, and then obviously clean it before I put the next bit on, because I'll never get to it again. Right, that was a good start. So I've had to sweat that bit out. I didn't need the upstand in there. My first piece needs to drop into that, like that, rather than a bit out, because that was upside down, the way I've done these. So I'm just going to redo this one now. Okay, that is now in the right way, and I'm just going to solder that one up. Swear that moved a little bit when I... There we go. Right, we'll let that cool, and then we'll add the next layer. Obviously we'll clean this because we'll probably never get to it again. Right, so that's the third one on. Now the reason I had to change it is because I thought it would be easier for me going forward if I only have to put heat on the top and solder that one, whereas doing it the other way I would have had to solder from underneath. So now the next one, when I drop that in, which will come this way, I've only got to drop solder into this top joint there. So there's 3 so far so good. Right, so with 3 tiers up now, starting to get the idea. So the next one's going to come this way, and that is this one. So we just need to flux that, drop that in there, solder that up like that. Starting to look really good. Okay, so just got 3 left, and then oh, there's a spider. Where are you going? Can you rescue him? Come on, out of the way. No, not under there. See you, mate. Ultimate 1 going on now. Okay, so it's all soldered up. It's pretty solid. Just needs a little bit of a clean, and then I've got to finish it off. Now, originally I thought about using one of these cross tees to make a star on top, but I'm just wondering whether to just have like a spire, like a normal Christmas tree, and then you could put something on top. I'll have to play, see what I think. I don't know if that, yeah, I do quite like that. Yeah, I've decided to go for a star. I've made it different lengths so it's not all equal. I think that looks like the top of a tree. Right, so I've chose the front. This is the front. There's some dodgy solder on some of the T's and elbows, but with that many fittings on, it'd be a miracle not to have some dodgy soldering. There's my cross I've just done, so that is now going to get soldered in the top like that, and I think that is looking half like a Christmas tree now. So that's it, my copper tree. I hope you think it looks like a tree. I hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, I'm 40 in March, but I'm still going to go up and ask my mum what she thinks of it. Right, after 3, open your eyes. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah?
Yeah, lovely.
Would you have that in your house?
I would. I'll keep it.
Do you want to wait in, Dad, or can she keep it? He wants to wait in. That's it. The finished copper Christmas tree. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you have a great Christmas and a happy new year. And yeah, thanks for all your support, and hopefully many more videos to come next year.